Hey everyone, it's Bowler Guy. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very special video for you all. I think I say that during like every introduction, but this time I mean it. I hope. So my last video, which I uploaded 6 weeks ago, I'm sorry about that, was about my RSG journey, my RSG experience. And the way I finished that video was I closed the book and said that the 1637 PB was my last run. It was not. I lied. This is actually my last run. This is sub 30 number 42, and it's a time that is just over 20 minutes. I got this during the Beat the Coldface tournament, which was like a forever ago, it feels like. But it was a tournament held by Ophi. And essentially, the top 5 runs that took place, or the top 5 runs that runners got throughout these 2 weeks would receive money. This run ended up getting second place, and so I won $20, which was awesome. But then I gave it to Verdant because I told her I would. So I'm a man of my word, so I had to. But you can see, spawning in here, here we are, 0-0, Savannah Village. We're going to open some chests here. It's going to be awesome, just standard Savannah Village stuff. I'm not washed, I promise, although I might be, but I'm still the same person I am at explaining runs. So yeah, throughout these last couple of weeks, I've been preparing. I have a very, very special trip I'm taking. I'm landing in Poland, and I'm taking a trip right around Central Europe, into the Czech Republic, Slovakia. I'm taking a day trip into Austria, and then finally I'm finishing up in Hungary, and it's going to be an awesome trip. I've been preparing a whole lot for this trip. It's going to be awesome. That's mainly what's taken a lot of my time away. Is I'm so excited. I'm trying to prepare everything I possibly can for this trip. It's going to be the trip of a lifetime. I can't wait. I've also been going to the gym a whole lot. Been trying to. Oh, I've also been like just doing some other things. So that's kind of what's taking my time these last 6 weeks or so, and you combine that with a lack of general motivation, and yeah, I didn't upload in 6 weeks, but here I am. I'm here. We're in a Savannah Village. We're gathering some stuff. We have a water bucket, and we're gonna go take down this golem shortly. But again, this run was special. This run was unlike anything else, because I knew. I made a promise to Verdant right as this tournament started that I said, all right, if I win any money, I'm going to give it to you. And I don't want to be the person that says that and then, doesn't get a run. Like, that's just silly. Why would I do that? Why would I promise someone that if I get it, I'm going to give it to them, and then I just try not to get it? Like, that would make me, I don't know. So I knew I needed to get a run, and the fact that I actually did end up getting second place and winning $20 was cool. I knew I probably would not get first. I think I would need to get a PB to get first. I think like the top run was by Kaludi, and it was like essentially the same time as my PB. I didn't really think I was going to beat that. But here we are. Here we are. And I didn't beat it, of course. I only got like a 20-minute run, but that ended up still being second. And you know what? A 20xx run is pretty good. So here I'm setting up this portal here. Very cool. It's the room portal that everyone loves, but this room portal in particular is so wacky. It has like so many pieces of crying obsidian. I fall in the lava here. Oh boy, it wasn't going too well. And then like it's on a hill, so there's not really a good way to like set up this portal. But that's all right. That's all right. The terrain around me for the overworld isn't looking too good. This is something I noticed in the run. I was like, oh man, even if I get out of here and I look for a stronghold, this is going to be like 12 million miles away. For Europeans, that's like, I don't know, 27.5 kilometers or something. I don't know. Or like literally anyone else. Like, I don't know. We always joke that it's like just Europeans, but no, it's literally everyone else. Like we're the weird people for using wilds, but that's all right. So here I am. I'm in the Nether. We're gonna go pause because A, there's warped there, and B, we can hopefully find a fortress very quickly if we continue traveling and pause. This area right in here, I choose to do warped at eventually. If the warped is large like this, you probably should run through here and just try to find good warped on the way to the fort. That way you're kind of task overlapping. By the way, I think I was kind of wrong on doing warped first. I used to like really hate it, but I've done it myself, and other runners have kind of started to pick up on it. So I just generally think I was wrong on that. Sometimes, especially doing warped first is good. But here I spotted a fortress to my left. You can see it's like 250, 150 or so. I'm again truly following what I preach here. So I'm just going to craft the sword and then get up here to the fortress. You'll see when we get up there, it's this fortress is kind of crazy. I stick in like one spot and just play it there. Yeah, like you can see I'm getting up here. There's like wither skeletons, there's blazes, there's everything. You know, all of the fortress mobs are here, and of course, since all the terrain is here too, like all the fort mobs that have spawned elsewhere, not only can see me but can run across the terrain to me. So, yeah, this fortress is very open. But this is how you play open forts. You try to find a little spot just to close yourself in and just peek out. Let the mobs come to you. Don't rush things here. I am notoriously a very safe runner, so I am your guy, let's be clear. I'm your guy for sub 30s and maybe sub 25, sub 20s, but I'm not the guy to ask for like world record stuff. I don't I'm not like a super aggressive player, so I will always take the safe route and rather get like a 2 minute shorter time than get like a than risk it all just to get a world record. I'm not that type of person. So I'm just taking down blazes. I think I already have like 3 or 4 rods here. There's a skeleton. You can see I just dive back into this little hole here. Now we kind of play the waiting game. There's this blaze, and I decided to poke my head out just because I know there's not really much around. And more blazes. Eventually, will come over. And I do play the spawner out the last time, and I get my 6th rod. One thing that is kind of strange is I don't really care whether I leave on like 6 or like 7. Just there's generally not a lot of times where you get 7 and then one breaks and then it's also a 1-eye. I've not experienced that too much. But getting a 7th rod is always good for insurance. But I rarely find that 7th rod useful at all. But here, I'm going to take down this last blaze and I'm going to run out of the fortress. This fortress was very, very nice to me. You can see right as I got into the fortress, I was already on the good side of the fortress, so I don't have to nav the fortress at all. Literally, I just had to run into it, and the spawner was right there on a silver platter. So that was very nice. Very nice fortress. Fortresses are often not that nice. But here is the warped. This warped looks good, and then I start to play it, and it's not good. So it ends up taking a lot longer than it should have. So, yeah. I definitely should not have... like this warped spot you think is good. Where I'm about to set up right here. But it's not. It's not as good. So, I promised there was a time when I was going to talk about who I was as a runner. And if not, the promise is now, right? So, who was I as a runner? And I say was because I'm not actively running anymore. I might run co-op every now and then, but I'm not. I don't think there's anything else I need to achieve. There's nothing else I need to prove in a solo run. I think I've done everything I wanted to do. But who was I as a runner? Well, I was always the type of person that I just wanted to improve. I didn't want to just run for world records. I didn't want to sink a massive amount of time into this, despite the fact that I did. But I always just wanted to improve. I wanted to prove that I could do this. I could go from knowing nothing at all to slowly learning and eventually doing stuff like this. And I could go from being someone who, again, knew nothing to being this person. It's getting my 42nd sub 30. And this run was entirely selfless. There was no pressure on this run. No pressure at all. I was always at ease with this run. This run, I think, was the only run in 42 sub 30s that I never felt nervous. And this was not a bad time. This was a 20-minute run. Like, to say this was a bad time is ludicrous. Right? A 20-minute time is very good. Very, very good. But who was I as a runner? What is my motivation? Why do I play the way I play? Well, my motivation was, again, improvement. I wanted to prove I could do this. I wanted to have fun. And above all, I just liked this game. And I wanted to show to everyone I could do something more beyond just playing survival. I wanted to prove to myself this too. So, when I started playing, a few people reached out to me and were like, hey, good job. I could see you're improving. Maybe I can give you some tips or something. And that's what led me into this community. What led me into this community was friendship and positivity. Of course, the community is more than just that. And some parts of the community I've been driven away by people who are not friends, people who are not positive. So, but I will always stand for that. And if this is what leads me into the community, is just friendship, just positivity, and other people just trying to help, then how many other people will be led into the community with that as well? Right? No one starts their journey as a speedrunner or anything as the best of the best. That doesn't happen. Right? You start and you aren't good. And that's not something to be ashamed of. That's something to say, I'm starting here. Right? You don't start life and you don't start life as, the best scientist in the world or the best anything in the world. Right? It's through friendship. It's through connections that you're able to achieve this. And yeah, I am quite self-motivated. I tend to run what I want to run and not what other people want me to run, because I won't be happy with that. I'll be honest. You have to be true to yourself. This is another thing that I've always taken into speedrunning from real life, is that you have to be true to yourself. You have to be honest. I can't convince myself to do things that I don't want to do. I just can't do it. Right? As I've grown, I've quickly realized that. And it tears you apart if you don't realize this soon. You will be torn. Because I went through a time when I didn't realize that, and I convinced myself that, oh yeah, if I do this thing that I hate long enough, I'm going to start to love it. No, I hated it, and I hated every second of it. But now I'm not that, and I think I'm happier now than I ever was. I'll be honest. Happier now than I ever was. And I say that a lot, but it's constantly true. And this is something, again, that I've brought into speedrunning. You have to be true to yourself. If you don't want to run today, then don't run today. No one's forcing you to run today. And if people try to force you to run, then they're not your friends, right? I think that's a fair assessment. But why do I play the way I play? All right, this is another question. I'm notoriously quite a safe runner. I don't like to take a lot of risks, and get like, risk maybe 30 seconds of time save to potentially die. Oh yeah, and then right here I experience a big lag spike. That's not only on your side, that's actually in the recording. That was just a massive lag spike. But I was, again, never the risky runner at all. Because I always, again, I just wanted to run. I didn't, dude, who cares about world records? Like, literally, who cares? They're made up, right? They're made up by the players to for one reason or another. And they're awesome to break. But at the same time, they only matter to the people who get them, and that's about it. So to me, this run means more than getting a world record, because a world record could be beaten. The $20 to Verdant will never be beaten. I think most runners look at this game the wrong way. Right? They want to run for world record. They want to grind hours and hours just to get a run that someone else will beat in 6 months. That's if that's motivation for you, I don't really care. But that's not me. It's that simple. So I'm out of the nether here. I have a bunch of Eyes of Ender, and we're going to be looking for the Stronghold. I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, I really didn't think the Stronghold is going to be close, but it does actually end up being pretty close. Spoiler alert. This run could have sub-20'd with, a little bit of better luck here and there. But again, overall, there's nothing to complain about with this run. This run was just a very good run. A very good run that I look at and I feel peaceful that this was the run that I ended on. And as we're heading off to the Stronghold here, I know this is good pace, right? I know it is, but I've been in this situation many times before, so it's nothing new. I don't feel nervous or anything. Isn't this cool, right? I get to stand here and I get to talk about this kind of stuff, right? You can probably tell that this has a lot of weight on me, right? Like I've definitely discussed this a lot before. I've definitely thought about this. This holds a lot of weight. This is who I am. And as I see this village here, nothing defines who I am more than these moments, right? What do you do in situations like these? Right, what you do in situations defines who you are. And in speedrunning, these are all situations, right? And if you are the type of person that loves to go fast, break world records, and do that, that's fine. I have nothing against that. I have nothing against people who do that. But that's not me, right? Which is who I am. All right, it's getting like way too getting a little spicy here. But as I'm running to the village, yeah, good, very good coordinates here. You can see, I think it's starting to turn daytime here, so I'm starting to think maybe this actually will not end up being a sub-20, but I don't really care about times that much. I just know this is a good run. Let's just finish the run. Right? I'm at peace now. I'm at peace. Absolute peace with this run. And I decided to throw an eye here, and it goes down. I'm like, all right, let's go down then. And, yep, right there I make the iron pickaxe and the bow, and then I'm going to head down. And of course I killed the golem there just to get the iron pickaxe. Although admittedly, if the stronghold was like on top of the sandstone here, or like in the sandstone, it would not have been good to craft the iron pickaxe. But what would have been the chances that the stronghold would have been that far up in this version? Not a lot. And there it is. We're hitting the stronghold here. The stronghold isn't that far down, but like Y25 or so. And I guess, yeah, if I had like really, really good nav here, this could have sub-20'd, I guess. But I don't like to discuss what could have happened. I'm just here to discuss what happened, right? So I'm just running around here, and I think I find it eventually. Oh no, that's just okay. That lava fooled me. I thought that lava was the portal room. But I'm in the stronghold here. We're looking around. We finally find the portal room. And it does end up being a 0-eye. So, if one were to break, I guess the 7th rod would have been useful. But I decided to throw out some stuff here. And again, I've been in this exact position 41 other times in my life. I know what's up. So, we're in the end here. I don't have an extra pearl. This is one thing I hate. I'm not good at speed bridging at all. I should probably get better at that if I'm really going to call myself a good Minecraft player. But who cares? I only care about that, right? So I pearled a mid here. I probably could have just thrown the pearl earlier, but whatever. And we activate crit bug on the dragon. Get in some hits here. Set up at the miner cycle for the last time. And finally, the last thing to do is to bridge up. Or tower up, I guess. Then place this lava. Then for one last time, do it 1 cycle. And that felt very good. But there it is. That's my actual last run. Sub 30 number 42, $20 to Verdant. And you guys get the funniest video probably on my channel. But with that, goodbye.